So this year I've been trying to focus on finishing more series that I'm in the middle of because it's just too many nowadays. And well, I finally got through 4, and well, I'm going to talk to you about them just a little bit and see what I think of them, if they're worth finishing, if they're worth even starting to begin with, and we'll just see where it goes from there. So I'm starting with one of the first ones, and this series is one of my all-time favourites. I love it to this day, even though I've been reading it since I was like 13 years old, and that is Skulduggery Pleasant. Skulduggery Pleasant is one of them series that just hit so differently for me, and it's been fantastic for me to see the characters grow, the characters progress, and the way it's developed with how the world is now, and I love that. I recently finished The Haunted House on Hollow Hill, which is based off a podcast that Derek Landy is doing. I rated this 4 stars. It is probably the worst book by Derek Landy I have ever read, and that's saying a lot because there is 18 of them that I've read, if not more. So yeah, probably give this one a miss. It doesn't really add much to the story anyway, but still. But part of the actual series, it was nice to go back to this world with the characters and everything else, and plus it's somehow getting darker in these books, which I'm loving, especially now that my tastes have changed. It's almost as if Derek Landy's in my brain deciding what I'm liking, and he's going to put that in a book, which, yes, I'm very, very much here for. I rated this 5 stars. I've read every single book in the main story anyway of Skulduggery Pleasant 5 stars because it's fantastic. It's a series that I recommend every single person reads at some point, especially if you like fantasy mixed with magic, mixed with talking skeletons that have got an attitude but are really, really, really sarcastic. It's great. One of the other series that I recently finished is Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I recently read this because people kept recommending it to me as a beginner way to get into thriller, and well, I sort of think I'm past the beginner stage of this sort of stuff, but at the same time, you can't really go wrong with like beginning again to try and see if you actually do like this genre and all that sort of stuff. And don't get me wrong, it is a bit young in certain areas for my taste, especially being almost 30 nowadays, but you can still see how great the writing is in this, the point where there's so many twists and turns, and the fact that it's based on a podcast, like there's little pages that show the script and some of the evidence and all this sort of stuff. I really enjoyed that, and from start to finish, I was like obsessed with these characters. I wanted to know more, I wanted to know what's going to happen next, and the way that As Good as Dead ended, it made me want a 4th book. I don't know how they would have done a 4th book, but I wanted a 4th one. And obviously now Holly Jackson's getting into adult thriller. Kind of interesting to see where this is all going. But I want another story that's based around Pip and her adventures, maybe when she's at university and got a little bit older, and get to see how everything is going. Yes. Do I think it's ever going to happen? Probably not, or unless Holly Jackson really needs money randomly. But we'll see how that goes. So the 3rd series that I finished was the Renegade series. I read all 3 books this year, and from start to finish, it is a bit hit and miss in certain areas. The point you're just like, this could be better in certain points. Don't get me wrong, the series is quite old and the characters are quite young, and this is like at the beginning of when superhero fantasy was starting to take off. So I wasn't expecting the world to be like my mind to be blown, but I did expect a little bit better in certain places. Don't get me wrong, you do get obsessed with the story and want to see how it's all going to end, how all the twists and turns are going to come about, and just learn about each person's new power and how it's going to work in this sort of environment. I really enjoyed that aspect, and I do wish there was more of it. See, now Marissa Meyer is a massive author who has wrote loads of stuff that everyone seems to love, but I would love to hear more about her fantasy work with the magical power sort of side, as I do think there's something here that would make me enjoy reading more about this. And the last one that I currently just finished was The Inheritance Games. This I read mainly because I loved the Natural series just so much, to the point it was like, I need more from this author, I need to know what more she has wrote. And then to my surprise, it turns out she wrote like another viral like book series that I just never got around to for some reason. So I picked it up, and when I read it, I kind of got hooked. Like, you just want to read more and more and more. And I don't read series in order. Like, I normally read a book, read another series, read a book, get into the next book of the series. I read all 3 in one go. I just had to. I wanted to know more. It was so fast paced. It was so twists and turns. The characters were actually all right to read about, and it was nice to be back in that sort of mind frame when reading. However, this is a big however. The brothers themselves, they do add a little bit here and there to the story, but it gets very samey very quickly, and to the point you just don't want to read about these characters anymore because you just hear the same things again and again and again. And it's like, there could have been something a little bit different here to make this a little bit better. Maybe add some more character development. Maybe make one of these fuckers fuck off. Who knows? But even then, I still think this is a book series that you should get to if you're looking for some like very quick paced, like crime, twist and turn sort of thing. If you're not, probably don't pick this up. Like, I do like the fact that there is no like any sort of romance involved. There is slightly, but it's not worth anything to the book series itself, which is great in my opinion. I do also have to say, at some point this year, I will be catching up on Fourth Wing. Am I happy about it? No. But at the same time, I kind of want to see why everyone keeps hyping up this book in the series now. You know, it's the third one, and apparently it solves all the problems that the second one had. I don't believe it. I don't believe it will ever happen. I think it's just got big because there's certain scenes there, spicy scenes, that people are loving, and that's it. It's not worth anything it's written on, but we'll see. Maybe I'll eat my words. Who knows? Very much doubt it though. My aim is to try and finish at least 3 more series this year. Who knows, maybe it'll be something I start recently, maybe it'll be something I've already started and just need to get back into. We'll find out eventually. If you like this sort of stuff, then let me know. Let me know some series I need to catch up on or even start reading myself because I need more. Yes, I might have a lot of books, but you know when you just need a little bit more. So just let me know. Thanks guys.